Hello, in this segment we're going to go over on how to remove and reinstall a deluxe rear door and a QLT lock assembly. First thing you're going to want to do if you're having an issue with the rear door and you need to change one out is there's going to be mushroom caps on the 4 rivets that you've got out here. So the first thing you need to do is you can either take like an 1/8 inch drill bit and drill right through the center of the mushroom cap to pop that out. Some people will use a little flathead screwdriver to go from the side. That is a little more tendency of scratching it, so I always have used an 1/8 inch drill bit. So what I'm going to do here is make sure you wear your safety glasses so you don't get anything in your eyes, and we're going to drill out the mushroom cap. Just take your time when you're drilling it out. Try to hit it in the center as much as possible. And it should walk itself right into the rivet area. And got the mushroom cap off. Once you get the mushroom cap off, you're going to bump yourself up to a 3/16 drill bit. And what that'll do is let you drill the rivet out. Once you get the mushroom caps and the rivets all drilled out, now it's going to be time for us to go in and take the inner ring off. Okay, we got all the screws out of the inner ring. The next step that you're going to want to do is make sure that if this is a used cap that you're taking the door out of, that you do pull the 3rd brake light and the 12-volt wire out of the framing of the door. So we've got them all out. Now we're going to go ahead and pull the door out of the cap. And we're going to sit it down over here on our workbench. Okay, we got the door out. I've cleaned the seal off. On this deluxe door, you can tell that it's a newer one of the deluxe doors because it does have the rubberized seal in it. If it was an older A.R.E cap, it would have had the 1/2 inch foam window putty tape. There are a couple common issues with the rear door if you're going to have to pull a door out. One is if the door is broke, 2 is if it's leaking, or the 3rd one normally is if it's off center. So if it's broke, you're going to have to pull it out and put a new one in. You should be able to reutilize the same holes in the cap. If it is a leaking door, you should be able to check on the cap to see if it was sealing in the proper spots or if it wasn't sealing in the right area and make an adjustment. If it's a fitment on the door, you're definitely going to want to try to fit this door back up into the cap on the truck. Okay, now that we got the door ready to go back up and in, there's a few things you need to make sure you do. When you do go to put the inner ring and the screws back into the door, you want to make sure you hit the window screw track. If you're not catching the window screw track, you won't get a good compression fit and it could lead to more leaking issues. So once you get it up into there, if it's a new door, you're going to need to take your time and make sure you're aiming for that. If it's an old door, you should be able to see your holes that were in the door and just re-hit those. Okay, now we got the door up in here. I've got the inner ring and the screws holding the door up in. The last step we're going to do is go ahead and replace the 4 rivets with the mushroom caps. When you're doing a deluxe door, you want to make sure that you've ordered the 1¼ inch long stem rivet. This is going to allow it to penetrate in through the fiberglass and the ring. Now, if we were doing a Z door, it's about a 3/4 inch self-sealed rivet because the Z door doesn't take the mushroom cap. So there are different rivets for the rear door, so you want to make sure you talk to your CSR to make sure you're ordering the proper rivets. So now we've got the rivets in. I've got 3 of them done. I'm going to pop rivet the very last one. You want to make sure that they pull tight. You've got them knocked all the way into there, and you pull it in there nice and tight. Okay, we've got the rivets all popped. Our last step will be putting the mushroom caps in. And again, you want to just put the mushroom caps in. Basically what this will do is just cover up the rivet heads themselves. Okay, in this session we're going to go over how to remove a QLT lock. It's a very simple task to do. There's only a couple of screws and components you got to do, and one thing you got to remember, and that's when you put your lock back in that there's a weep hole at the bottom of the lock. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. I'll show you what the weep hole looks like, and we'll put it back up and in. Pull off your little grab handle. You got your little set screw here. I'm going to change my bit here. You're going to get yourself another square bit, then you're just going to take out the square bit screws. That'll allow you to remove the cams and allow you to pull your lock out. Very easy and simple to pull out. Only thing you want to always remember is whenever you go to put the lock back in, that at the bottom of the lock, you'll see the little weep holes. Those need to be faced downward.